Welcome to another session of Endless Legend. I'm Matt, and this is my Kapaku playthrough on Endless difficulty. I finally got the name right, I'm not calling them off the Bionicles again. And in the I tried to record this episode before, and because the computer crashed, it failed miserably. But I did pick up some interesting tips. So firstly, I figured out why the stupid resources weren't working. It's because of the winter random effect chosen randomly. And that's something you can't affect with pearls, which is highly irritating because this is such a big downside for the Kapaku because we lean so heavily on strategic resources. But on the other hand, I figured out that this pearl hoarding upgrade is truly busted in combination with this organized labor upgrade. So how it works is you get pearl hoarding first, then you turn all of your pearls into stockpiles, and then once you have those stockpiles, you pick up organized labor. Now the thing is, once you have organized labor, these stockpiles cost more industry. But when you get organized labor, your stockpiles are all upgraded, even if you built them before you got it. So in a way, you're cheating on. You're turning you can basically use this trick to turn 100 industry and 8 pearls into 1,001 food or science, or even more industry if you want that. So we're going to do that and see how many we can sort of cheat out before picking up that upgrade. In the meantime, I'm going to get. I'm not sure how much I should worry about invasions from other factions at the moment. Producing troops is not bad, but at the same time, the more pearls I can get out, the better. Now I want to think about what do I want more. Am I more choked on science? We're doing pretty decently on science for the stage of the. Well, we're doing quite well on sinus. Sinus. I do quite badly on sinus. I have allergies at the moment. So the first thing, before I get into the details about how I want to plan with that, I'm just going to think about my empire plan. So a nice thing about having a lot of influence is that you can get this 25% happiness bonus on cities. And it looks like something we might need. Expansion disapproval is really pulling us out of the fervent range, which is bad because fervent is just very good to have. It gives you a bunch of stats bonuses, or FIDS bonuses rather. And this upgrade, which we've picked up in a lot of our cities, Central Markets benefits you a lot if you're in fervent, because you gain bonus dust and bonus food, in addition to all of the bonuses you get from fervent on your cities. So I think we want to push for that. Currently we don't have enough to really pick up. Oh, we can get building buyout reduction. That's really not as impressive. It's not that impressive. We don't really want to spend dust on trivial stuff like that. We can go over. No, we can't actually. It turns out we can't get in one of the higher tiers of these. So let's just stay with this plan. Yeah. A reason why our influence plan is currently so good is partly because of this cultist hero, and just giving us influence per population. It's pretty strong. Let me just double check that I have a hero in each city. I have 2 cultist heroes, which is good. I have 1 Kapaku hero, which is never bad on volcanic terrain. 1 roving clans hero for extra trade route bonuses, and it's also not bad to have an ardent mages hero for flat science bonuses. So these are all heroes which are at least not necessarily optimal, but good choices for governors. Sometimes you get a bit unluckier, and then you have heroes which don't really function as governors at all. Yeah. Very badly. So now that I've finished that, let me just think about. I think I have to delay this stone set a little bit. We're getting some extra raiders. Yeah, we have a stone set more. Yeah, we can actually even cut this. Screw this guy. I don't want you. So we have to think about whether we want more science or whether we want more food. In general, food is a bit more valuable at this stage in the game, I think, because we're not yet at the point where we're racing for a scientific victory, at which point science is the only thing that matters, right? Instead, I think I want to get lots of food pearls, and what that will let us do is it will let us boost the population on our cities once we get this upgrade quite substantially. And in the meantime, we also want to get some stockpiles. And you need Imperial coinage to pick up stockpiles, unfortunately. I mean, stockpiles in the market, and we can basically, that's another way we can exploit this technique. We can spend a bit of dust to pick up a huge amount of other resources. So that's really valuable. Although we don't actually have to pick this up before we pick the other one up. I don't believe this increases the cost of the stockpiles in the marketplace. So, yeah, we've already. Oh, I haven't really talked about this, but endless mechanisms is an excellent technology for the end game. What it lets you do basically is it gives you. Firstly, it gives you extra road movement speed, which is really valuable. You really want to have your armies be mobile because you need mobile armies to defend your territories. Unlike the AI, you don't have enough armies that you can really afford to. I don't know, just camp a small army in each of your cities. You really have to have one central powerful army that you can maneuver between your cities to defend them. And that's what Endless Mechanism really helps out with. But it also is quite powerful economically because it lets you research ruins. It lets you search ruins again. And the good thing about that is that you get higher tier upgrades by searching these ruins because you're basically searching a ruin in the end game. So you can get things like Mithrite, Hyperium, etc. So that's really a lot better than it might look at first. It's a very solid upgrade. Became very solid. The Magma Hydraulics, which we cheated out here, or the Lava Works, which we cheated out here, should do us a lot of good in the next couple of turns. I do want to prioritize getting this right of way out as soon as possible because I will connect trade routes from here to here, so you get trade value from the city as well. Now that we have, I also kind of want to pick up highway outposts. I'm going backwards in the technology tree a bit, but I think it's well motivated. The reason we get highway outposts is because we can strengthen our trade routes, give extra trade routes per city, and also gain bonus dust on our trade routes. And trade routes are pretty good because at this stage of the game you can really produce enough dust that you can spend it on things, and trade routes are a big part of keeping that dust production up. And also trade routes give you other bonuses like extra science. And they synergize well with certain heroes, like the Roving Clans heroes. As you can see, we're still prioritizing food quite aggressively. And food pills. Unfortunately, our production for Palladium is still stilted. Well, this is very... Our production for all kinds of strategics are quite low at the moment because of the annoying winter effect, which is the very... It's unfortunate, but yeah, what are you going to do? I guess we can turn this army to an independent unit that picks up these pearls. Do want to pick up a decent amount of pearls. Try and get as many stockpiles as we can. We're going to send this army here, I think. Look around for more stockpiles. The faction that's the best at picking up pearls is the Alai faction, which I've been playing recently. I've actually been having a lot of fun with them in my sort of off-screen game. Although I don't think they're objectively that powerful. Early on, they struggle a lot because they have a quirk called the Few of the Proud, which makes them it just gimps your economy quite a bit. So in that way, they're relatively weak. But on the other hand, I've been having success with them in endgame because I was able to abuse their ability to extract a lot of strategics and luxuries, or make good use of them. Maybe that's something we'll look at in the future video. So Borough Street, we could place one here, just to try and round this out. Could just place it on the red sign. I kind of want to do that. Instead of having to build this extractor, it would be better if we could just get it. Now for the dust water extractor, unfortunately probably have to go back, pick up Imperial coinage. And I probably have to pick up Imperial coinage sooner rather than later so I can just get those extractors rolling. So it's kind of annoying that I forgot about that the glass tube was going to be so blocked. I think Highway Outpost is something you can pick up before Endless Mechanisms. It's not going anywhere, but it's something I do want to pick up at some point. Funnily enough, somehow these upgrades, they are quite good, but I feel like I have to go back in the tree a bit to pick up the relevant things first. And in some ways you get, because the lower research trees don't cost quite as much if you rely more on lower researchers. I mean, you're getting less power, but in some ways you're also gaining more because you're unlocking higher tiers a bit faster. So if you think they're of comparable value, then it's somehow a little bit advantageous to pick up a lower tier upgrade. But really, it just depends on what kind of game you're playing at that time. But the long story short, it's like may the agony make us stronger. So long story short, it's like it's not clear cut that you should always pick the higher tier upgrades. Like if you're over here, if you're this tier, don't feel married to this tier. You can go back and pick up things that are important to you and your empire. And you can always come back and pick up the relevant research later. Like Alliance, this is technology we're currently not interested in, but it might be we're interested in it at the end of the game, like a lot, because we are trying to gang up on one player at the expense of another player. By the way, I really like how these boats look. They're kind of like some old school science fiction stuff right there. We can get some more pearls. Yeah, why not? Pick up one more pearl. Pearls are plenty. And then I'll have organized labor very soon. I've used up all my pearls to get as many stockpiles as I can. As you can see in food. I might have to delay organized labor just to make sure I don't waste some production. Like if I get these 2 pearls next turn, or if I want to get these 2 pearls, then build one of these stockpiles before I get organized labor, if that makes sense. Because otherwise I'm effectively wasting 1,000 industry or something. Basically, I want to prioritize picking up the stockpiles before I get the upgrade, because once I get the upgrade, the stockpiles would be harder to make. It's a bit not that transparent, and you wouldn't expect it to work this well, but it does, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, Summer has returned to Oruga. That's great. They're closing their borders because I killed them or something. I don't know why they're upset with me. Okay, we're supposed to grow prosperous and fat. I mean, I can do that. I'm totally fine with that. We're just going to keep building raiders in this city, because this city... building boroughs at this place is not viable for us. I mean, again, this is sort of, we'd have to build in a sort of tube worm fashion, and then we wouldn't get any happiness bonuses. We could just build 3 boroughs here to just complete a triangle, although all of those boroughs would get us 0 resources. So At some point I might want to do that just to boost the happiness in this place, but I don't think it's worth it at the moment. When you're at 100% happiness, somehow that doesn't seem like the plan. I'm just going to keep building some generic military units. Generic. Where the plan is really just having a standing army, so that basically we won't get overrun by the AI. This location. We just pick up Central Marketplace. Palladium Extractor is something I really want. Hyperium Extractor requires more titanium. So in that case, we should definitely go back for this Imperial coinage as soon as possible so we can spend dust to buy titanium. At this point in the game, dust is really quite good. But, I mean, dust is always good, but it's like, dust is something you can really plan around because you can finally have enough dust that you can spend on things. Basically, I feel like that's how industry becomes less and less valuable the later the game goes. But I think dust becomes more usable later on, and just because I don't know, just it's somehow harder to get the necessary dust early in the game, and later in the game you can use dust for more important things as well, like buying the specific resources you need to complete certain projects. Okay, so now, their closing board is 2. Now, as you can see, our stockpiles give us 1,000 and 1,100 food per stockpile, and we only spend 100 industry making each of them. So that is a bargain. We're going to pop one on each of our cities that doesn't have full population next turn. So that's great. I'm going to save them, and then we'll pick up some stockpiles as soon as we pick up this Imperial coinage. So this strategy, which I discovered by experimenting in the last session, is very nice for just I don't know how to describe it, but just rounding out your economy. Okay, so here that this Pills of Plenty will cost way too much at this point. It's not bad to say, but it's just showing you that because it didn't finish last turn, now we're going to have to pay significant extra costs for this. And at that point, I don't know if I want to sacrifice the pearls. If I could instead be getting one of these blessings, for instance, after the next winter. So we're going to move away from that a bit. Just make sure the city is on food, because we still want to ramp up our food production at this point in the game. We're still building raiders. Let me just check how good that unit design is. It's first tier dust, so it's nothing special, but we just have to have some armies that will protect us, and we're not really we're not really doing much of those cities, and we just want to make sure that we're going to get overrun at some point in the game. That would be obviously bad. The most obvious way. Let's just maneuver this unit up. Make sure we can cover everything during the dust eclipse. I think I want to go here to search this temple. This army. Our military here isn't doing much, but it is sort of important to have one on standby, and the opportunity cost isn't that big. The weird thing about this game, the more I played it, I don't know, the more I realized how different it is from Ender Space 2. And Ender Space 2, it's perfectly fine if you don't have a commander, if you're doing an economic playstyle. But in this game, you really don't want to leave yourself vulnerable if you're... Look, just in general, you don't want to leave yourself militarily vulnerable, because there's a bunch of timings with the computer-controlled faction. You can just march into your territories and crush you, so that's not good. So we gained a ton of food there by using relatively little industry. Look, like this, the designers thought this effect should be valued at like this amount of industry. So that should tell you a bit about how much of a bargain we're getting. Next turn we can buy a bunch of titanium with the Imperial coinage, Something I probably should have picked up earlier, but we only had the dust to make it work now. And then we can get these Hyperium extractors, which is good because Hyperium is really rare. And also Hyperium is really good. I want this region because 2 Hyperium extractors. But I also don't know if I can easily hold it. The main difficulty is that we'd have to run through this area to locate this. We might want to build there and there in that case. Our approval rating seems decent enough at the moment. Although I forgot what trick I did recently to pull it up. Oh, for the Empire plan, yeah. So our approval rating is pretty good. Although building 2 cities might cause it to plummet a bit. Maybe we just build the city at sort of at risk once we have the strategics. Because winter has ended. We should be picking up strategics every turn now, yes. Once we have those strategics, we can start volcano forming that region. As you can see, we can only activate volcano formers for like Palladian. So, one downside of playing this faction is that at some point you really have to dump a ton of strategics just to make enough volcano formers. Or dump strategics into volcano formers rather. Just to get your cities off the ground. Apprentice registry. This is something we want, definitely. Now that we have the market, I think I want to get just a ton of titanium. And with that titanium, I can get these valuable Hyperium extractors. I'm just going to buy this out. And where's the Hyperium? Okay, here it is. I'm just going to shift all populations over to industry because this is important. We can even more Titan burns if we want. I can really think about selling these Titan burns at this point. We're not really getting that much value out of them. Or like we have 30 cost to activate, so everything above 30 is wasted, basically. I think we can sell 40. Sadly, things don't sell for much in this game, so going for the early, unlike in Endless Space, going for the early marketplace unlock doesn't actually let you earn a ton of dust by selling. You really have to have a powerful dust production in place already. Sort of unfortunate. You think about picking up extra food stockpiles at the moment for extra dust. I think I like that. Extra science stockpile might have been a consideration. I think I want to just boost the city. Yeah, doing quite well. Now that the dust eclipse has happened, we realize we have 9 turns available to collect all our stuff. So that's plenty of time. We don't have to rush. Collecting some dust. Excellent. Once we get these temple ruins, we can do the whole thing again. Stop being like, Okay. Let's research there. Oh, look at that. I forgot to get dust water. Oh no. Wait. Okay. Let's pick that up ASAP. Let's think about picking up extra burrow streets now that we have this. Where did I leave this army? Oh, this is an unspoiled ruins. Ha, stupid. Okay, picking up even more dust. Sadly, you don't get the science bonus from ruins you've already searched. Although I think we should get a little bit of science from this endless mechanisms, which kind of makes endless mechanisms. I think I remember it working like that, which makes endless mechanisms like even more absurd on the Kapaku than on any other faction, where it's already kind of absurd. I mean, it's already, I think, kind of like top tier in terms of what it gets you for how little investment, because like think about it, it's like an upgrade, but you don't have to spend industry or anything on it. So like it's kind of industry free. Yeah. There's a lot of things you actually don't have to spend on industry on this game, which makes me less high on industry than I am in Endless Space 2. Well, I'm really high on industry in Endless Space 2. Alongside science is the most important resource in that game. We've got some Mythrite, as you can see. Mythrite is like it's like Hyperion but worse. Unfortunately, I mean, Hyperion is so good that like Mythrite being a worse Hyperion is not really a bad thing about it. But yeah, I do kind of want to collect this region at some point because we're getting so much Hyperion. And I think with the Hyperion we can consider going for a kind of military victory in that we can just build armies that are going to be impossible for our opponents to defeat because they're going to be equipped with so much Hyperion. That was kind of my strategy with the IDE, by the way. Or the strategy I ended up fixating on in the end game. It's just once you have all of these... once you have enough of these strategic resources, you can make high-tech armies, say using these weapons, which basically can't be defeated. It's kind of silly in a way. I don't know. We can get extra manufacturing assimilation slots if we thought those bonuses were relevant, but clearly I don't because I forgot about it completely. Bonus influence is not bad. Yeah. Actually, bonus influence is kind of nice. Bonus happiness would be nice. Bonus science would be nice. But these villages haven't really reconstructed yet, I think. But when they are, then you know, we'll get 10% bonus science on Empire versus 50% bonus influence. Influence is better than it looks, actually. And these units are pretty solid, though. I don't think we need power. Well, we can think about adding a powerful flying unit to our roster, I guess. I mean, this sort of island game is not as exciting in some ways, but in many ways it's just nicer because it's nicer to play because you have to worry a lot less about the AI just walking into your territory and destroying the shit out of you. Which is basically how this game works. Until you get your footing in the later game. Basically in all Endless games, the AI is significantly worse than a human player in the later game. But the fact that it cheats on resources will make it better than a human player up until then. Well, normally, yeah. Endless Legends is most more challenging than Endless Space 2. Partly. Well, I don't know. I feel like the balancing could be a bit better, but maybe it's because I've played Endless Legend 100 hours less than Endless Space 2, and as I'm playing the game more, I'm really appreciating it a bit more. Well, I'm getting around all these difficulties. I think Endless Space 2 is yeah, it's definitely the more pleasant of the two difficulty-wise. I say it's easy. It's definitely not easy, but yeah, it's easier. Now we can pick up stockpiles. We want to get all of the food stockpiles because, as I mentioned before, food is just good. This game. I don't know if these stockpiles regenerate. I don't think they do. So it's sort of like a one-time dust dump to make more use out of our excellent to further exploit this excellent upgrade in organized labor. I feel like this has sort of been, well, apart from that hero I lost actually, in many ways just like the ideal game, showing not only how powerful the Kapaku are, but what you can just do with solid like economic play. This is more things need to go right, let's put it that way, for you to have a nice economic game in this game. I kind of like, as an endgame strategy in general, I do like military in this game because I don't feel like you're guaranteed to win with science victories if you're a human player. It could just be that the AI at the endgame just out-muscles you in terms of just brute production. And in that case, you kind of like fighting a losing battle by just going for the science victory, for instance, or whatever. We might be able to win that battle in this game, but given how much Hyperium I have, which is the most precious resource, I am sort of inclined to try and win. I forgot to get public uranium in this place. It's horrible. Public uranium is so good. I am sort of inclined to try and win by doing something else, and that I want to. Well, look at how much this population has been boosted just by these stockpiles. It's kind of insane. See, like, the stockpile each gives us like an extra population, which is huge at this stage in the game. Okay, in fact we can get another one. And we just want to prioritize the cities which have the cultist heroes because they benefit a lot more from extra population. Now we've picked up a ton of extra glass steel. We're going to spend some of it. I don't want to spend that much of it. I almost want to spend more palladium. We have more production of that than glass steel. Or we have equal production. But we're dumping a lot less of it to get a new volcano former. I could spend Hyperium. But Hyperium and Mithrite are so good and so valuable. I almost want to spend like 20 glass steel instead. Okay, I'm fine spending glass steel. I've talked myself into it. I guess 40 titanium is not the end of the world. Okay, now we really want to... Ideally, I could place the city just on one of these so I can quickly start extracting. Tundra rocks give us... Hidden springs give us bonus dust and food. Not bad. Wait, this is great. The steppe soil gives us bonus happiness. Bonus happiness is something you always want in a new city. And I guess the Hyperium can wait. Oh, there's bonus happiness there. No, never mind. I'm going all in for the Hyperium. I do not care. Sounds like Kratos from God of War. I do not care. Boy. Stop bothering me. These demons are cool. Quite an effective unit in general. Not mandatory, but quite good. We might pick them up if we feel like they're more effective tanking units than our stone sentinels. I think they're just going to do more damage than the sentinels are, but they're probably going to be less sturdy. We'll see about that actually. The nice thing that is about minor factions is that they really let you fill out your army nicely going into later stages of the game. I almost want to pick up one of these minor faction bonuses. Because I have a bunch of minor factions I can potentially get. Getting 5 bonus initiative, 10 bonus happiness, resources on luxury resource extractors. Actually, I only want one, I think, because of the extra science I'm given by the haunts. I'm not really that interested in anything else, I think. Endless mechanisms is something we should pick up, and I also want imperial funding. They're both going to boost our science quite noticeably. I'm going to stay back on imperial funding a bit because I just want to have enough dust that I can just buy enough titanium. Like, there's no point in getting imperial funding when our dust and Hyperium production is not really off the ground yet. We finally picking up the Hyperium extractor next turn on 2 of our villages. Okay. This place, we want to... Our capital. This place. I think we want to just pick up a settler or 2. Might as well build both settlers now, right? We can just settle this region at some point in the future. You have to do it now. What do they want again? Ugh, I don't care. This quest is annoying. This region has so much Hyperium that we can't really afford to ignore it, though. I guess this region might be an easier settle. Okay, we completed Highway Outpost. We got our Hyperium extractors. That's excellent. And we're about to pick up the last temple, I think, in our empire. Yeah, it is the last one. We can reassign our hero. Yeah. First Sparkling Flame. Oops, I accidentally combined these two armies. So that's a mess up. We're just going to put it over there. And then probably crush this village and get a better quest. Jaipur village. At this point in the game, we're actually not getting as much out of Dust Eclipses as other factions are. Like the Ardent Fire. Ardent Mages get bonus damage for damage dealt to their units. For life lost on the units during Dust Eclipses. There's basically a bunch of other upgrades which is just better than what we have access to, but it doesn't matter. I kind of feel like I want to get these Blessings of Auriga, like Strategic Intensifier would be nice to have if we have a strategic resource that we can get more of. In particular, the Hyperium Extractor would be nice. And we can quickly work our way towards both of these Hyperium Extractors. So I'm kind of down with picking that up. Before I do that, though, I want to think about the Golem Camp, the single most important building. Okay, the single most important upgrade you can get for the Kapaku. Oh, I have to count which one is actually better. It looks like this one is. That one gives a bit more dust, but yeah. Yeah, let's do it like that. Yeah, never mind. I think the strategic, yeah. I think the strategic intensifier is going to be a bit better because we're gaining 2 times the resource on the strategics, and 2 times the resource on Hyperium is more than 2 times as valuable. Now, ideally, we can just pick up more pearls so we can actually buy those. But yeah. Alright. This region has a lot of luxuries as well. This region's great. I think I'm just going to risk picking it up. And we can just sort of build up this sort of like U formation now. Okay, let's drop one there. Then we definitely want to build over the Hyperium. Now that we have that as our we've planned to get the strategic intensifier thingy. Go like this, pick up the strategic intensifier on that, and that's pretty good. And then we go here for the last. Wait, yeah, we go here for the last one because this is a good place to put the Golem Camp. You do want to plan cities out a lot more when you're playing the Kapaku, just because the volcano followers require a bit of care. Alright, that's cool. And now we can disembark at some point. Let's get up that way. And here, just picking up that. I guess Stone Sentinels can just make its way back down here. We can probably take these guys out. I believe in you. Yeah, I believe in you. And my belief in you is rewarded. Well done. I'm proud of you. I'm just going to go and pick up these pearls. Suddenly the pearls are getting a lot more valuable in the end game, where you can pick up things like Strategic Intensifier, Abbey of Anomalies, or Luxury Intensifier. Depending on what you need. Oh wait, is it the stupid thing? Is this active? Next winter. Maybe. Oh, that's going to be so annoying. I hate that thing. It's hyper irritating. Pretty soon we're going to pick up Endless Mechanisms, and we can just run around and do everything again. I do want to upgrade my hero for better set of legs or whatever improves their movement speed. Weird talisman thing. I'm pretty sure it's not a better set of legs. You can get more science or more influence. They're both good choices. I think I'm going to go for influence at the moment. New army. We're just going to run up here. I have a second settler for whenever we need it. And just dump back into... Just slowly building up military in this section. We can instead just pick up a Royal University or something. Although I think we're going to get less value out of that. Probably Apprentice Registry is a good choice. We can actually pick up some nice things like these. Make sure our main town, although it isn't great, is still worth investing in. Wait, okay, here. Okay, we can actually bribe these people. Okay, my bro. Look at me, moral ruler, bribing people. Yeah, we picked up some extra stuff there. That's nice. We probably want to go back and just pick up all these temples. I believe it's temples, right? No, you can search any ruins. That's good. A second time, which is nice. Especially if we get some of the high tier bonuses. Like, yeah. As you can see, it's kind of like the precursor of the Dust Eclipse. A very clever design, basically, because it makes sure that these things that you like, oh, I searched it again, something out of value, have relevance later in the game. Just Titan bones are just our bread and butter in this game. Caravanserai. This is basically the upgrade I was talking about. Bonus trade routes on city. It's very important for us. And I think Dust's refining is also quite good. Here on this settlement, we can think about picking up the strategic intensifier. What? Why can't we pick it up? We're extracting this, aren't we? Interesting. No, I'm confused why we don't have that. Okay, I'm not sure why that doesn't work here. I guess we're just picking up Caravanserai. Whatever. Picking up an extra borough. I'm really not sure why that doesn't work. Oh well. So we're going to send our settler along here to search some of these ruins on the way. And as you will see, we get a lot of science from these if we search successfully. No! We're supposed to demonstrate something. You let me down. Okay, here we can use dust to pacify these villages. And I want to pick up the bonus morale on our army. It's quite strong. Okay, let's just go over there, pick that up. And you can actually go there. Now we get 30 pixie blood and 300 science. Not a bad amount of science, considering how we need approximately 5 times as much to pick up research. So that's just from researching or something. And we can use this for bonus health regen cities. I mean, that's not a great bonus, but why not? The main thing is we're going to pick up a new city very soon, so we won't be able to reactivate it. I guess we'll just talk to them and or kill them. Oh boy. Subdue them with violence. Same, right? Oh boy. Yeah, we're getting. As you can see, we got a lot of science from searching those ruins, which is not a trivial bonus. Really, Endless Mechanisms is a really strong upgrade. The more I think about it, that's also very strong with the Kapaku because you get science per search. So you know, you're definitely getting some sort of value. Here we search more science. Here we can pick up Burrow Streets, and here we can get, for some reason, here we can get the Strategic Intensifier. Called bullshit. Why can't I pick that up over here? Okay, let me just pick it up, put something over here, and then see if I can pick it up with the city. Okay. I actually forgot to check if we can pick up more stockpiles. We can. Let's do that at the start of next turn, get on the food stockpile, and then start picking up these science stockpiles. Getting 1,000 extra science per turn is no joke, and it's something I should have been worried about or focused on sooner. We can even get some industry stockpiles, to be honest. And let's get at least 2 science stockpiles. Let's get the rest of the industry stockpiles. Why not? It's basically spending 300 dust just to like get like 1,000 industry. It's pretty good. As far as investment goes, you know. Pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. You just need to make sure I'm moving my units so they're doing something productive. Didn't get anything because life. Ugh. Life, why? And we have to declare war to cross the borders of these inhospitable fiends. Let's just bribe this place. Yeah. Bribing is a convenient way when you have a lot of dust of picking up cities, but it's only meant to be that. Like, it's clearly, it's supposed to do the quest things, and bribing is just supposed to be when the quests are super annoying. Augmented extractor. This is a nice reward, but it doesn't look like we really have the options of picking those up. It is a very nice reward, though. I was planning to go here for my city founding, and I'm still going to do that. This raider, where is it? Yeah. I'm going to continue searching, making the most out of our endless mechanisms, which also allows us to pick up a lot of science for this stage in the game. As you can see, we're actually pretty close to tier 5. And it's not even turn 100. That should give you an idea of how powerful this faction is, and or how good I am at them compared to how good I am with every other faction. This is either a glowing endorsement of this faction, or savage criticism of my play skill. I guess these anaerobic microbiology is something we might want to pick up for bonus food. It's a little bit cheaper than this in terms of production. We still want to, I think, strengthen our food production at this stage of the game. We do want to get these military sciences as well, though. So the question is, if we have to get either of these, which one are we going to get? It looks like this is slightly better. Wait, this is bonus per. This gives a percentage bonus, which is going to be better in general. And the bonus life loss. This is probably better, although we're a bit taxed. Actually, we have a decent amount of Palladian income, so that's fine. We can always pick these up later. Again, we don't have to go according to the tiers. I kind of want to pick up rare alloys now that I have Hyperium. Hyperium is, I think, the strongest military, or at least it's close. Hyperium is definitely one of the strongest military weapon types you can get, if not the strongest. So I'm perfectly happy picking up Hyperium weaponry. We're probably going to have more Hyperium than we have Adamantium and Palladian anyway, and so we can focus our armies around Hyperium, and that will let us, at the very least, put pressure on other empires. At the best, just take all their territories. That's kind of what the end game devolves into. Like, the very late game, like, they're like 3 empires and they've chowed everything else. Like, unfortunately, it's kind of disastrous. This tiny squirrel person has to be the cultists, because the cultists are the actual dumpster tier of this game. I'm not even trying to be mean. Like, unfortunately, the cultists are just not good. I feel like they could have been so awesome if they'd been designed better. Whatever. Inspect. Just pick this up. Very valuable to have that. Make a new army of raiders. Let's go searching. Okay, there's an army of theirs. It's just a sea army, so I'm gonna have to worry too much. Just pick up these important things. Just, I think I'm gonna extend my city down a bit. Build a city in a new region within 5 turns. That should be easy enough because we're about to build a city. Good thing I did that in the right order. Yeah. Yes, gained a bunch of, well, a not insignificant amount of dust, which we can now spend in upgrading our city very quickly. What else do we want? Sewer system is important. Public granary is important. Central market is important. Yeah, I think we have all the apprentice registry is good, but we'll save it for later. We can get these basic upgrades just because while our population grows. Well, I say that and I just spend everything. I guess apprentice registry is not bad, but perhaps I want to just quickly pick up. Here's the Seriton village. I want to maybe quickly pick up Borough Street. I don't think I can though. I don't think I have enough. But I do have enough population. Where's the borough? Where is it? I can't find it for some reason. Have I that's weird. Never mind. Let's just pick up the Hyperium extractors. Pick it up over there. And I'd probably spend dust on this thing. It's valuable. And at this point, I want to think about buying another hero when I can. I really have spent a lot of dust kickstarting this settlement. Makes me kind of reconsider wanting having. It kind of makes me reconsider wanting another settlement. Although maybe that's just to make sure everything is connected with roads. Now that our roads are so good, makes it extra desirable, I guess. You can even place it right on the Hyperium. Just be like, this settlement is clearly for Hyperium. Deal with it. Deal with it. Okay, let's just pick up another one. And our science continues to come along nicely because of how many ruins we're looking at. A nice thing about invading other territories is we get access to extra ruins. And that's certainly not a bad idea. No, not bad ideas. But I guess at some point we'll get diminishing returns from the extra science, but extra science is extra science. It's never bad. Okay. A Ravode has the treasure we seek. So this is this puny army. I just hope that puny army doesn't kill my... or one of those puny armies. I hope one of them doesn't kill my golem camp. That'll be irritating. Auto this, because we don't have time for that. Yeah, just search this. Whoa, that took them a while. Oh, we have to defeat this army as well. And auto this. Oh, we lost the settler. Oops. Oh well, don't think that through. Doesn't really matter too much. We don't need the settler for this region right away. We can just get it here in one turn. Yeah, should be able to get it in 2 turns. Yeah, then settle that region. Now we've gotten a science stockpile. I think we want to just dump our industry onto this region. Maybe this region. Just regions that aren't doing that well in industry might get a boost. No, I'm gonna have to spend them so frivolously. Ugh, spending this luxury, like, it's so bad. I hate you, Emeralds. I hate you! You're a failure. The worst strategic resource of all. The worst. Speaking of strategic resources, let me just buy some titanium so we can get more Hyperium, which is the entire reason I even colonized that base in the first place. Hyperium here. Wonderful. Adamantium. Should all be done in one turn, which again showcases how powerful the stockpiles can really be. I'm not even super maximizing them, like, they're so good. Oof. I'm so happy. And I'm just gonna pick. Whoa, wait, that went completely wrong. Just place it here. I'm gonna use the industry stockpiles to make these new places just come alive faster. Now we can sort of form up our armies, showing people how little we can. So we should have quite a lot of Hyperion development right now. Okay, that's the ground army coming from them, our unfriendly neighbors. They did march a huge army to my territory, so I kind of killed it. Things escalated from there. So we have 4 Hyperion per turn, which is good. I hope to do a bit better in the future. Die. Okay. Die. Die is good. Might as well activate it. Might as well activate the emeralds, though it pains me deep down inside. Stupid emeralds. Stupid. Okay. Might as well just jam this on Empire. Now we have more stockpiles we can buy. Let's just pick up, make sure we have a science stockpile to activate each turn. I don't think they stack. I don't think you can just buy stockpiles and just jam it. But, yeah. Oh, we have 2 Hyperion in this region as well. Oh, this is going to be insane. We're going to have 6 Hyperion per turn. That's, yeah, we're going to really run away with the military game, I think. While we're doing that, we should add Blood Crystal Extractor, and I think Red Sign Extractor, if we had enough of those strategics. Which we can get. No! We cannot! I kid. That is horrible. Yeah, never mind. That's good. We should try and form up our armies. They're costing us a ton of dust. I mean, there are advantages to splitting up, but the disadvantages are starting to outweigh the advantages, yeah. I think this Relic of the Past is pretty garbage. But might as well get it. I feel like this stone temple we can almost... Actually, somebody has to run down here to make sure that our area is terraformed. Okay, this unit, we can just run over there. This army can hold the fort down here, this army can continue exploring over there. I have a plan. Alright. Continue extending the city. Why not? We're still producing a ton of food on our empire. Unfortunately, we've run out of food stockpiles, but we have huge populations, I think. Can you see the populations? So 15, 12, 17, 13, 13. Well, that's the place that's just started. But basically, because of our stockpile strategy, by turn 100, so before turn 100, we're going to have a very powerful population base, which is very valuable. Wait, we haven't constructed anything in this place. Dust filtration, I don't really want that. I can think about picking up another burrow, can I? As long as I can find a no, it turns out the burrows are off. I want to pick up some guns, just to make sure that if there's a random fleet here, we can start bombarding it. It's not great, but it's free value. And we can pick up a cannery, I think. Because I'm still in the phase of the game where I want to boost food, no matter what. Right. So we can go something like this, compromise. And pick up a bunch of canneries in the near future. Now, hopefully, I can just build a luxury intensifier over here. Although I need it less and less because I have so much Hyperion in my empire. Life is great. So this canning strategy really has paid off for us here. We get more science in the city, which is something I'm never unhappy with. Although science is less good than I thought it was in this game. Okay, here there is a spy. We're going to try and round up the spy. Kind of irritating. The spies are difficult to get rid of, to say the least, in endless difficulty. For some reason. Well, the reason is developers. The reason is possibly questionable balance decisions. But like, we're just going to drop it here. I think we can just get it right next to Hyperion. Or not. This region kind of sucks, actually. The more I look at it. Here's Wizard Stone. I guess we want the Wizard Stone. Yeah, Wizard Harry. Let's drop it there. And we have 3 volcano formers. So we just go to this point. We can start the city we can start the city later. We don't have to start it right away. What is this? Subterranean Gardens. Nice! And here's refrigerated plant. I've never actually gotten these upgrades, so I've never seen what they're like. So we built the stupid thing here, but for some reason we can't strategic intensify this. But we have the strategic... I don't know why this doesn't work. My main reason for getting this is now defunct. Like... yeah, I've sort of invested heavily and thought about getting an upgrade, which now doesn't do that much for me, so wonderful. We should get the refrigeration plant on cities which have a lot of population already. This is 11. We can think about getting a refrigeration plant here. This thing about population just keeps like, food is the gift that keeps on giving, basically. Like, I don't know how else to say it. If you have food, you just get more food, and then more food, and then more food. It's kind of like, in some ways, the industry of endless space too. Like, just get more and more and more. I think we just put it here. Just like exploit that last volcanic tower. Probably because we'll last here. Let's start on that. So really, if I had to recap this episode, it's basically that. What really paid off for us here is this pearl hoarding trick. Using pearl hoarding and then getting organized labor, and the last spot we pick up some extra stockpiles, which we will continue to activate each turn, I think. How much science are we producing this turn? We can activate one of these, I think. And yeah, actually they do stack. We can just keep getting more, I think. Never mind, they don't stack. Whoops. So, we really exploited that to the max. And it really paid off, I think. So, join me next time as I continue to build up my economy in this game. The main thing is I want to get more refrigeration plants to even make my food even stronger going to this portion of the game. And I'm excited to share... Well, I'm excited to see how this game continues to play out. The main thing I want to look at now is how I want to exploit this Hyperium. And I think the way I'm going to exploit this Hyperium is going for these rare alloys, building up a top-tier army, and really putting pressure on some powerful empires. The powerful empire in this case probably being yellow because it's right over the border, and it's quite dangerous. More press, like the faction that's strongest at the moment is Belly Slicer, pink, but we can't, or we actually can very easily access its territories, never mind. So maybe we're going to attack that faction instead. Or maybe we're going to attack blue because we need to get into blue's territory to finish our faction quest. So we're faced with a bunch of decisions, and join me next time as I try and navigate them optimally and try and build on this excellent, like this really incredible start of the game for the first 100 turns. So thanks again for joining me. I hope you had fun and I hope you learned something.